Hi everyone, I want to welcome you to my channel Surviving Narcissism Together. Have you ever felt suddenly confused or deeply hurt by someone you loved? Maybe you've experienced being love bombed and appreciated, but then suddenly something changed. Now you're gaslighted and your memories are now twisted and your feelings are quickly being dismissed. Maybe you were placed on a pedestal and suddenly was knocked over and somehow you became the problem. Maybe you were isolated and blamed and manipulated to feel like no matter how hard you tried, it was never enough. You may have found yourself walking on eggshells with a mixture of being numb and anxious and unsure of who you even are anymore. Maybe you no longer recognize your partner. They're no longer the person you fell in love with because their mask suddenly fell off. It's really important to be educated on this topic of narcissism. Not everyone encounters a narcissist, but the ones that do are often left with an intense and overwhelming experience that no one else can relate to unless they've been through it themselves. That's why I wanted to create this channel where we could come together as a supportive community and share our experiences and learn from mine, just like I learned from other victims who've turned into survivors and victors. I'm not a psychologist, but I am a survivor that can relate to what you experienced. I remember feeling like my world ended. My body went into shock. It felt like the person that I was with for years died when his mask suddenly fell off. In fact, it felt like two deaths, the death of him and the death of myself. My body felt so exhausted from taking such a huge hit. I had such terrible brain fog and I felt crippled. I forgot all my amazing qualities because I was gaslighted so much. But regardless of this, I rebuilt myself through being educated, through therapy, through reaching out to other survivors that could relate to what I went through, and that made me feel validated and like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. Through journaling, somatic exercises, grounding techniques, all of these things work together in helping to restore me and even creating a better version of myself. I really hope that through my channel, you yourselves can find that solace and support and become whole again.